Telling us who you are, where you work, what you do.
So yeah, I'm Rowan Isaacman from Caffenu. We founded Caffenu about 10 years ago. We actually started off with a coffee machine rental in South Africa, and the machines that we were renting out were coming back to us were like absolutely faulty. So we had to disassemble them to get them clean so that we could re-rent them out again. And that's when we kind of came up with the concept of a cleaning vessel or a coffee machine, and it kind of all just grew from there. We started off with that for the home consumer, and then we noticed that on the local market there wasn't really much in terms of products that were produced locally to be able to support the business kind of side of the coffee machine industry.
Sure.
And I always talk about that cleaning is like the unsexy side of coffee.
Quite right, yeah.
And always kind of the hidden side of coffee.
Yeah.
And one of those kind of things that we've been, trying to educate the home consumer. I believe that baristas who go through their coffee training kind of understand the importance of cleaning, but maybe don't understand the impact that it has if it's not done properly.
Yeah.
And then obviously for us, a big part has been trying to educate the home consumer.
Sure.
It's just as important for
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely, I hear you. On a practical level, happens to the equipment itself rather than the flavor of the coffee when you don't clean it again.
Yeah, I think there's quite a few facets to the cleaning side of the game. Obviously, like the guys looking for water filtration is quite important. Some of our best customers are guys that don't use any filtration, and I think there's also misconceptions around people just assume because they're using filtered water or bottled water that it therefore doesn't need to be descaled. Especially on the home user side, there's a lot of misconceptions around water. I always say to people, it's like, as they said before, it's like, pure water, which is very soft, is actually corrosive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, people don't understand. And then they're like, I'm using mineral water, and I'm like, so I don't need to descale my machine. I'm like, it's in the name. It's got minerals in the water, right?
No,
so
sure.
I think on the bigger machines, it's obviously a bit more difficult, but obviously in terms of the descaling side. But in terms of the brewing side, back flushing is super important. A lot of the times for home machines, you get blockages in your reverb valves, steam ones that get clogged up.
Sure.
And then kind of block those one-way valve that sit inside the boiler.
Yeah.
Then you start talking about huge repair.
100%.
And I mean, so on that side, these are very expensive machines that and as we progressing, the machines are getting more and more advanced, and more intricate, I think is kind of the word I'm looking for.
Sure.
Which makes them a little more susceptible to that repair.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, obviously, as you said before, I mean, it's super important in terms of the flavor profile. I think on the expense side of things as well, like you're losing customers, just from here. Like if I walk into a coffee shop and I can't see through the bean hopper and the milk one is about a 2 mil.
You're not going to order coffee, right?
I'm not gonna have a coffee there, and I think that automatically shows you the level of care that's gone into that kind of organization. So I think it's double-fold in terms of. Yeah, so we always kind of reinventing. Obviously, that's still one of our biggest lines. And then there's, depending on what region you're in, there's machines that South Africans would have never even heard of. Like a big thing for us is curing. South Africans wouldn't even know what curing is.
Yeah, sure.
The largest drink system in the planet, because it's only in America. So now like we've got a Vertua cleaning pod. So as the industry adapts, we kind of adapt with it. And we're also seeing a lot more bean to cup stuff, so a lot of tablets.
Sure.
The bean to cup side of the market is definitely growing. I think people are starting to be more conscious about, capsules and single-use products.
Yeah.
There's some interesting products coming out around that as well. So yeah, definitely, it's always an interesting place to be. It's always evolving, which is great to see, and we kind of always, developing with it.
You're a local South African brand, proudly South African, but your reach extends well beyond the borders of South Africa.
I think so. Yeah, once again, very much a local company. Everything we manufacture is done locally. And I think initially, some of the largest markets for us are USA, UK, Canada, Europe. We're probably directly, we're in about 10 countries ourselves. We have about 35 countries that we represent through distributors. I think our initial product, which was quite unique, opened up the door for us as a little bit of a different kind of offering. And through that, that's allowed us to kind of grow our network. And, I always say, when we started the brand, because we're quite young in terms of there's some of the other cleaning brands that are out there. When we first started, we had to meet the stringent kind of regulatory requirements. All of our products, even though they're locally manufactured, based on the highest European standards. So I think, when we started, it was already the word allowed phosphate. All of our surfactants had to be really biodegradable. So a lot of the traditional companies now have eco ranges, but when we started, ours was already eco from the get-go. We started off with the kind of the latest technology in terms of surfactants and chelating agents. So the market really started to shift. So that kind of also helped us position us a little bit differently. And the fact that, once again, that we have because we're not a massive company and we have South Africa as our base, we're able to be a lot more bespoke. So if a customer wants 20 tablets with a specific jar, or they want a specific color, or they want that. So we also do quite a lot of private labeling. And I think that's also one of our USPs is that because we have the ability to be more flexible as opposed to some of the larger companies internationally, we're able to offer a bit more bespoke solutions as well to our customers. So you'll see our range, which is A to Z, but actually there's a whole lot more behind that because depending on customer requirements, we often custom formulate, custom pack.
Sure, that's fantastic, and I think that adds value back to any in the coffee sphere. Knowing that you have a direct line to Caffenu to be able